morning. Thank you for tuning in to Thursday's edition of Quick Morning. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. We'll get you the roundup of all that's making news from across the country and the globe. Let's get started. After addressing rallies on 21st of September and 22nd, Union Home Minister Amit Shah is now scheduled to address four public meetings in Kathua and Udhampur districts today. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will hold an equal number of rallies. In fact, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Union Minister for Road Traffic and Highways Nitin Gadkari, other Union Ministers, ex-Central Ministers and Chief Ministers of BJP ruled states will also be campaigning starting today till the 29th of September. In fact, for the third and final phase of voting on 1st of October in 24 assembly constituencies of the Jammu division. Prime Minister Modi will also hold a massive rally in Jammu on the 28th to campaign for the BJP candidates. The internal factionalism within the Congress party shows no signs of abating as the party gears up for the upcoming elections. This is the Congress party after nearly 13 days of absence. Kumari Selja is set to resume her campaigning efforts and will attend a rally hosted by Rahul Gandhi. In fact, Selja has even released a poster on social media to promote her participation in the rally. However, the poster notably lacks images of key party figures, including that of former Chief Minister Bhupender Singh Hooda and Haryana Congress Chief. As well as Kumari Selja steps back into the campaign mode, the party's ability to present a cohesive front also remains a question. The upcoming rally would be a crucial test of not only her support but also the party's internal dynamics as it seeks to rally voters ahead of the elections. The Assam government and the All Assam Students Union discussed the implementation of Justice retired Biplab Dev Sarma's committee recommendations on Clause 6 of the Assam Accord to protect the interests of the indigenous population. In fact, Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, along with his cabinet colleagues and student representatives, analysed the recommendations at the State Secretariat. The recommendations will apply not only to the districts of the Brahmaputra Valley and not in the three districts of Barak Valley, within the 6 scheduled areas of Dima, Hassau, Karbi Anglong and Bodoland territorial region. The prime suspect in the gruesome murder of Mahalakshmi, 29-year-old woman whose maggot-infested body chopped into 50 pieces was stored in a refrigerator, was found in Bengaluru apartment, has now committed suicide. DCP Central Bengaluru has also issued a statement regarding the same. This is prime accused Pratap Roy, who was on the run in Odisha in connection with the Mahalakshmi murder case. The body of the woman was found by her mother and elder sister when her neighbors complained of stench coming from the apartment, a case that drew similarities from the Shraddha Walkar case in the national capital. According to the police, the incident happened in Malleswaram, Bengaluru. A violent dispute erupted between two groups in Maksi, Shahjahanpur district, leading to gunfire that resulted in 1 death and 6 injuries. In fact, tensions have only been escalating since then between the two over a conflict that was reignited on Wednesday, culminating in the gunfire. The dispute may involve both members of both communities. 6 individuals sustained injuries in this incident, with one person said to be in a critical condition, being referred to a hospital in Indore. Tragically, one person from one of the communities lost his life due to gunshot wounds. The shooting occurred late in the evening. The injured was transported to Shahjahanpur District Hospital for treatment. In response to the situation, the police has now established a presence at the hospital for security purposes. Authorities have not yet issued any statement regarding the ongoing investigation. Schools and colleges in Mumbai and its suburbs will remain shut today amid a red alert for heavy rains. School Education Minister Deepak Kesarkar, the Guardian Minister for Mumbai City, declared a holiday as a result of heavy rains that lashed Mumbai. In fact, a municipal corporation officer said that the holiday has been declared as a precautionary measure, as the Met Department has issued a red alert predicting extremely heavy rainfall this morning. The civic body has also appealed to the citizens to step out of their homes only if necessary. Heavy rains have been lashing Mumbai and its suburbs since yesterday, inundating low-lying areas, stopping local trains on tracks between Kurla and Thane stations, and even stranding passengers as traffic snarls have also been reported. Now, in a serious allegation against Ashok Gehlot, his former aide Lokesh Sharma has now, after months of questioning, revealed that the former Rajasthan Chief Minister had instructed him to distribute audio clips from the telephone conversations of Union Minister Gajendra Shekhawat tapped in 2020. The former OSD of Gehlot also made a startling revelation prior to being summoned again in this matter by the Delhi police over the past several months before the Congress was ousted from power in Rajasthan assembly polls. Lokesh Sharma said that he was given specific instructions regarding what to disclose during the police interrogations. However, now he's amicably expressed his intention to fully disclose all details he had regarding this case. Sharma has asserted that he possesses important evidence to support his claims, including instructions from the then Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot to destroy certain evidence. All right, let's now take a look at the business stories that we're tracking in this edition of Quick Morning on this Thursday's edition. Foxconn is evaluating investing a sum of around $1 billion for setting up a facility to assemble smartphone display modules in Tamil Nadu. This will be the first such facility that would be set up by the company and will primarily cater to Apple for assembling Apple iPhone display modules. In fact, furthermore, Foxconn does not plan on using this facility just for supplying iPhone displays internally, that is, to its other facilities where it assembles iPhones. Instead, it plans on being a supply to other iPhone contract manufacturers in the country, which includes Tata Electronics and Pegatron as well. As far as the timeline is concerned, there is still no word on when this facility will be operational. It is also worth noting that the setting up of a display module assembly unit in India will help the company reduce its dependence on China. It will also increase the overall turnaround time for manufacturing iPhones in the country. Additionally, the move is likely to help India climb to the electronics manufacturing value chain. Karnataka, meanwhile, is planning to cut levies and offer financial incentives to companies in the clean mobility sector, including a steep tax cut for hybrid cars that will be a boost for Toyota. A draft of a state government document also showed the same. While India has focused on exemptions for electric cars, the move could make the state home to the tech hub of Bengaluru, the second after northern Uttar Pradesh, to provide tax breaks to hybrid cars, for which Toyota has lobbied New Delhi. Karnataka, which racks up India's third highest sales of electric vehicles, now aims to drop road tax and registration charges for hybrid cars, costing less than $30,000 versus 13% to 18%. The state even aims to boost clean mobility vehicle adoption, which includes EVs, certain hybrids and hydrogen-based vehicles. It said in the draft, which set no deadline to finalize and unveil the policy for the same. Meanwhile, Apple could be the winner after Alphabet's, which is a ruling that supports the iPhone maker's defense in its own antitrust court battle with US prosecutors. In fact, a federal judge mostly sided with the state and federal antitrust enforcers in the Blockbuster case that ruled Google's search business was an illegal monopoly, but threw out a claim by several US states that one of Google's ad tools was designed to give the company an advantage over Microsoft's Bing. That piece could help Apple's defense in its own anti-monopoly case. The ruling underscored top court's precedent that companies almost never have a duty to deal with their rivals. Meanwhile, India's cash incentives to boost domestic manufacturing has attracted more than $17 billion of investment since 2020 launch of production-linked scheme. This scheme offers 4 to 6% cash incentives on incremental sales to manufacturers that was launched across 14 sectors, including electronics, pharmaceuticals, textiles and white goods as well. India has emerged as a global hub for electronics manufacturing, particularly smartphones, and is now the second largest producer of mobile phones as well. The incentives has even resulted in production worth about 11 trillion rupees and nearly 1 million jobs over 4 years' time. After reducing mobile imports from China by attracting global players like Apple, India now plans to produce more laptops, tablets, computers and even servers for the same. The global market for artificial intelligence, AI-related products and services is now expected to grow at an annual rate of 45 to 55% and can even reach up to $990 billion by 2027. Bain & Company's fifth annual global technology report said that AI workloads could grow about 25 to 35% per year through 2027. As AI expands, the need for computing power will radically expand the scale of large data centers over the next 5 to 10 years. In fact, in addition to the need for more data centers, The AI-driven surge in demand for graphic processing units could increase total demand for certain upstream companies by 30% or more by 2026. AI's disruptive growth will even continue to reshape the tech sector as innovation spreads beyond the hyperscalers to smaller cloud services providers, which is the CSPs, enterprises, sovereign software vendors, and beyond. Storage technology will advance to accommodate the needs of generative AI, while the growing need for data preparation and mobility will spur growth in data management software. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal, in his visit to Australia for bilateral talks to promote trade and investment, said that the dairy is a sensitive sector in India that involves livelihood issues of small farmers and that there are no plans to give duty concessions under any free trade agreement in this area. He further said that India has not given any duty concessions in the dairy sector even to Switzerland and Norway under the EFTA, which is the European Free Trade Association Trade Pact, which was signed in the month of March. With Australia also, he said that the sector was discussed, but India clearly conveyed that the sensitivities involved involved in the sector, further saying that the sector is open for trade, but there are certain custom duties imposed on that as well. Meanwhile, Union Minister of Labour and Employment Mansukh Mandavia has urged Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin to take action and find a resolution to the ongoing strike by more than 1,000 Samsung electronic workers. The strike, now in its third week, has disrupted operations at Samsung plant near Chennai, with workers demanding higher wages and union recognition as well. The minister has further asked for an early and amicable resolution to this matter. The Tamil Nadu state government is actively involved in mediating talks, but as of now, neither Samsung nor Tamil Nadu government has responded to requests for comment from the media. The strike, which began on 9th of September, centers around workers' demands for wage increases and union recognition. At Samsung's home appliances, the factory is crucial for Samsung, contributing roughly a third of its $12 billion annual revenue in India. The plant is located in a prime industrial area near Chennai, alongside global manufacturing giants like Foxconn and Dell. In other news that you're tracking, Facebook owner Meta is preparing to kick off its annual Connect conference at its California headquarters, where it is expected to preview its first augmented reality glasses and announce updates to its existing virtual reality and artificial intelligence products. Among those AI updates is an audio upgrade offering users the option to select a voice for Meta's ChatGPT-like chatbot, which includes the ability to make it sound like celebrities, including Judy Jen and John Cena. The augmented reality reveal is a long time in making for Meta chief executive Mark Zuckerberg, who positioned AR technology as a sort of magnum opus when he first pivoted the world's biggest social media company towards building immersive metaverse systems in 2021. Now, in one of the top international stories that you're tracking is one that's coming in from Ukraine. President Zelensky has once again invited India for the Global Peace Summit. This in wake of the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. And Ukraine and Russia both calling on India to mediate between the two countries. Let's take a look at the top stories. Ukraine President Zelensky has addressed the UNGA to highlight fears of a nuclear incident as his country battles Russian aggression for over 2 years now. The Ukrainian leader raised alarms about Russia's potential action against his country, stressing that he knows how his country is dealing with the turmoil. He even urged global leaders to stand with his country and thank them for their support since Russia's war against Ukraine began 2 years ago.
This is the major source of radiation danger in Europe, possibly in the world. That's why in the peace formula I presented, the first point is about nuclear safety. In Ukraine, we know exactly what we are dealing with. And I want to thank you, the General Assembly members, for adopting a resolution in July this year on the safety of nuclear facilities in Ukraine.
Russian President Vladimir Putin said that a nuclear power supporting another country's attack on Russia will be considered a participant in aggression. In fact, he was speaking during a meeting of Russia's Security Council that considered changes in Russia's nuclear doctrine. Putin also announced that a revised version of the document said that an attack against Russia by a non-nuclear power with support of a nuclear power will be seen as a joint attack on the Russian Federation. Putin did not specify whether Russia could respond to such an attack with nuclear weapons. The change in the doctrine follows Putin's warning to the US and other NATO allies that allowing Ukraine to use Western-supplied long-range weapons for strikes on Russia would mean that Russia and NATO are at war. Sri Lanka's new president, Anura Kumara, has said that he will resume discussions with the International Monetary Fund and foreign creditors to salvage the country from its worst economic crisis. He further said that the government is expecting to discuss debt restructuring with the relevant parties to complete the process quickly and obtain funds as well. In fact, he was speaking during his campaign and said that he will renegotiate a bailout agreement with the IMF with his predecessor, Wickremesinghe, that he had also agreed to do the same, saying that he wants to make austerity measures more bearable to the poor. Days before the election, Wickremesinghe's administration had also agreed in principle on the restructuring of the country's foreign debt. Despite the election pledges, the Prime Minister has showed signs that he may continue with the IMF agreement without much changes by retaining the Governor of Central Bank and the Secretary of the Ministry of Finance, who were at the forefront in carrying out the reform program. Meanwhile, China has reassured foreign companies that it will uphold the legitimate rights and interests of all market entities after it announced an investigation into a fashion company, PVH, for suspected violations of trade unions. The Chinese Ministry of Commerce even said that it would investigate the American company's suspected boycott of products from Far West region, where China's ruling Communist Party is accused of holding members of mostly Muslim ethnic groups in detention camps. The spokesperson further added that the probe determining whether a company is reliable that targets only a handful of foreign entities, that disrupts market rules and violates China's laws, further saying that the foreign entities that are high integrity and are law abiding have nothing to worry about. Meanwhile, hundreds of protesters protested in front of Congo's top court to demand the release of political prisoners, including the country's three most prominent opposition figures. In fact, after the protest ended, representatives of opposition parties handed the Minister of Justice a statement accusing Congo's president of trying to muzzle the opponents and silence the dissenting voices. The parties even called for the release of Jane Carbond, leader of the Alliance for Change party, and also former member of provincial parliament for Together for the Republic, as well as a candidate in presidential elections last year. In news that's coming in from the US, Los Angeles, where a passenger was killed after a gunman hijacked a city bus in Los Angeles, leading to a slow police chase through downtown before the suspect was eventually arrested. The police said that the armed man boarded the metro bus with the driver and two passengers aboard shortly before 1 a.m. local time in the region. The police were in pursuit as the driver drove at gunpoint for the next 1 hour. While speaking on the sidelines of the annual UNGA session, the head of UN Nuclear Watchdog Chief said that Iranian officials have shown a desire to engage positively with this agency about concerns over nuclear safety in Iran and Ukraine, as well as nuclear energy. Relations between Iran and the International Atomic Energy Agency have often been dodged by animosity. He further reiterated that IAEA takes nuclear safety as a priority, and it is one of the missions of the agency to make sure that countries follow the international protocols. And with that, we head into a very short break. When we come back, we'll get you all the action that we're tracking from the world of sports and entertainment.
पीओके से रेफ्यूजीज आए, उनसे मनमोहन सिंह जी ने वायदा किया था, वो वायदा पूरा किया जाएगा. कश्मीरी पंडित से जो मनमोहन सिंह जी ने वायदा किया था, वो वायदा पूरा किया जाएगा. कश्मीरी पंडित से जो मनमोहन सिंह जी ने वायदा किया था, वो वायदा पूरा.
Welcome back. You're watching Quick Morning. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. Let's now take a look at highlights from the world of sports. Prime Minister Modi held a meet with Indian men's and women's chess teams at his residence on Wednesday, congratulating them for the remarkable feat of winning double gold medals at the International Chess Federation, which is the FIDE Chess Olympiad. He also witnessed a quick action of game between Arjun and R. Pragananda. The National Anti-Doping Agency also served a notice to wrestler Vinesh Fogart for whereabouts failure and sought an explanation within 14 days' time. All the athletes registered with the NADA's registered testing protocol, pool of which Vinesh is a part, are required to provide details about their availability for dope tests. The NADA in notice conveyed to the wrestler turned politician that she had apparently committed a whereabouts failure as she was not available for a dope test on 9th of September at her house in Karkhoda village in Sonipat. Bangladesh ace all-rounder Shakib Al Hasan is facing uncertainty over his participation in the upcoming test in a match against India. During the first test that was held at M.A. Chithambaram Stadium, Shakib was unable to bowl due to discomfort in his finger, which he sustained while batting. Bangladesh's head coach also confirmed the availability of Shakib for the Kanpur test, where both teams are likely to depend on the spin attack for success. Chandika even revealed that the player has not complained about his injury and that there is no concern from the physio ahead of the second match. The head coach of the Saudi Arabian club announced that Neymar is not ready for imminent return to action in the Al Hilal SFC. The Brazilian star signed for the Riyadh team in the month of August last year, but played just 5 matches before he underwent surgery in his left knee while on international duty in the month of October. Second-tier AI Najma stunned Saudi Pro League side Damak to reach the last 16 in the Kings Cup following a 2-0 win on 2 second-half goals from Brazilian Leo and Frenchman Bele won the game. For the lower league side, Damak had their chances to equalize before to substitute the opponent that put the game beyond doubt in the 85th minute. In other sports stories, Al Tayoun came through 3-2 against Abha to reach the last 16 in Saudi Arabia Kings Cup. A first-half goal from midfielder Flavio looked to be enough to secure the win for AI Tayoun, but a last-gasp penalty from Ahmed Jabir in the 11th minute of added time sent the match into extra time. And after our sports segment, let's now take a look at all that's making news from the world of glitz and glamour. A day after Malayalam actor Siddiqui's anticipatory bail was dismissed by the Kerala High Court in a rape case that was filed against him by an actress, police continues to search for him and a special investigation team has even decided to arrest him. However, with the actor's mobile phones now switched off and the police making failed attempts to trace his location, Siddiqui is expected to move a petition against the High Court's verdict in the top court. Association of Malayalam Movie Artists' former General Secretary Adavila Babu was formally arrested yesterday after a round of questioning by the Special Investigation Team in a case of sexual abuse against him based on a complaint that was registered by a former actress but released on bail. Since Adavila Babu had secured anticipatory bail early this month, the police, after registering this arrest, released him. Let's take a look at the other stories that are making news. National award-winning filmmaker Nag Ashwin's blockbuster Kalki 2898 AD starring Amitabh Bachchan, Prabhas, Kamal Hassan will be showcased at International Film Festival. The 29th edition of the film festival will take place starting on 2nd of October and till 11th of October. The movie will be screened on the 8th of October and the 9th. Kalki 2898 AD was the first Indian film to unveil its teaser at the prestigious San Diego Comic Con. Kalki 2898 AD is the first installment in the Kalki cinematic universe. The film is set against the backdrop of 2898 AD. The film traces the story from now Baron Kashi amid a dystopian era ruled by Supreme Yaskin rises like a dawn of hope as a bearer of Lord Kalki, the 10th and final avatar of Lord Vishnu. The Mumbai-based production house Pooja Entertainment, headed by Vashu Bhagnani, continues to level allegations of financial fraud. First, they put forth the allegations against Ali Abbas Zafar for misappropriation of funds, and now the production house has filed a lawsuit against streaming giant Netflix and others. In other stories that you're tracking, pop icon Lady Gaga has announced a new album that will act as a companion to her upcoming film Joker. Titled Harlequin, the album will feature 13 songs and will be out on 27th of September. The pop icon had been teasing a mystery project for several days through a series of cryptic social media posts.
I'm so just happy to finally announce my album Harlequin, which is coming out on September 27th, and it's a companion album for the film, so it has so much of the music that's in Joker, as well as some original pieces that I wrote for the film, and one that's for the album only, which is called Happy Mistake. And it's all these like really interesting original productions.
Now, federal judge on Wednesday resentenced Julie Chrisley to 7 years in prison for conviction on bank fraud and tax evasion charges, declining reality TV star's request for less time in prison that was originally imposed. Chrisley and her husband Todd Chrisley gained fame on their show Chrisley Knows Best, which followed their tight-knit family and extravagant lifestyle. A jury in 2022 found them guilty of conspiring to defraud community banks out of more than 30 billion in fraudulent loans. The Chrisleys were also found guilty of tax evasion by hiding their earnings. A 3-judge panel of the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in June upheld the Chrisleys' convictions but found a legal error in how their trial judge had calculated Julie Chrisley's sentence by holding her accountable for her entire bank fraud scheme. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Quick Morning. Stay tuned as we will get you all the top stories and all the breaking news updates after this very short break.